Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. Season 5 of Fortnite Battle Royale has now ended, which means it's time to look back at everything it gave us and break down those Easter eggs, those cultural references, a few memes, and all the changes that came to the map for nostalgia purposes. And of course, we'll look back at the event, which in Season 5 was all about a rolling cube of death. Season 5 began on July 12th and ran until September 27th, 2018. The story continued from the rocket event in Season 4 as the rift in the sky dragged vehicles and locations from other worlds, hence the title Worlds Collide. Before we review the season, let's first look at the Easter eggs and the nods to pop culture found over the last few months, starting with emotes and characters. The 2 luchador-inspired wrestlers were added along with this emote in Season 5. Do you recognise the end pose? Yeah, that's Hulk Hogan's calling sign, brother. I wonder if Usain Bolt stole the idea. The female luchador skin in particular, known as Dynamo, also wears a mask very reminiscent of the wrestler Sexy Star. That's legitimately her ring name, I promise. Her mask is designed with a star across the forehead, and it matches up almost perfectly with Dynamo. During the time this skin was revealed, Sexy Star was in the news after deliberately injuring a fellow wrestler in a match. Who said wrestling isn't real? The season starter pack, the Ace, brought back an Easter egg I missed a few seasons ago. The back bling satchel full of cash uses Monopoly style money, complete with llama decals. Back in Season 3, the first emote to use the Monopoly cash was the Make It Rain emote. When the Garage Band set released, it used typical 80s rock tropes to build the characters. I mean, the stage slayer is Slash and Duff from Guns N' Roses thrown together in a homage to the days when music wasn't just car alarms and beeps. Thanks, Skrillex. I digress. But it's the glider which appeared alongside the rockers which grabbed my attention. Minus the wings, this beaut is a callback to the 1980s again and the Back to the Future film starring Michael J. Fox and the famous DeLorean. The loading screen even has the iconic rubber burns on the road before takeoff. And it's even in the small print too. Extra points for the squishy tomato head on the antenna. Speaking of gliders, another overpriced glider I couldn't resist is this shark with a laser on its head. The laser chomp is here in homage to Austin Powers and the supervillain Dr. Evil and his desire to have sharks with laser beams attached to their head.
And that is to have sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
Jumping over to the Battle Pass, there was this beauty emote, You're Awesome to unlock, which takes inspiration from James Brown and his silky dance moves. Bow! Good God, y'all! The 2+2=4 emote is here thanks to Fire in the Booth. It's a BBC Radio 1 show which gives lyricists a platform to show their skills. Every so often they have comedy acts on, such as Big Shaq and Roll Safe. If Roll Safe looks familiar, he based his look on Eddie Murphy in the 1980s, and this moment he starts talking about his friend who can speak French, mixed with Big Shaq's awesome mathematics.
2+2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
And we now have this Fortnite emote. Ubisoft, how do you say it? Ubisoft or Ubisoft? Ubisoft's Rainbow Six series can be seen with this subtle nod of affection in the Battle Pass with Sledgehammer, who bears a resemblance to Blackbeard. Luckily, Fortnite Sledgehammer hasn't been nerfed into oblivion yet. During Season 5, the start and end characters in the Battle Pass were based around Norse myth, the Huntress and Ragnarok. They were joined at the end of the season by Valkyrie and the Frostwing. The Frostwing in particular, the biggest glider to date, looked familiar to me, but I couldn't place it. Asking around, people suggested that the mount resembles World of Warcraft's Wyvern mount, and even the Lynch King-inspired Sindragosa. The animation itself is taken from Game of Thrones, and the Viserion dragon which was resurrected and became an ice dragon. I know there'll be at least one smartass in the comments who says, technically these are wyverns, not dragons. Let's agree to make a note here that dragons have 4 legs and separate wings, and wyverns have 2 with their wings attached to their arms. Every day's a school day. Swipe is a nod to Millie Rock. Probably the most renowned video for this is by Ron Purdy, who has been watched Millie rocking in New York almost 20 million times when I'm saying this. The breakdown emote is a homage to a dance troupe known as the Kinjaz. The emote takes 5 parts of their dance routines from many different pieces of their choreography. The dance therapy emote, on the other hand, is a Kevin Bacon reference to the greatest film of all time, Footloose. In this one, our Kev just wants to dance in a town where it's banned. Time to let out that anger in a dance. This is what I do every time YouTube demonetizes my video. So about 10 times a week. The twist emote is our seasonal nod to John Travolta and Pulp Fiction. This time, it's his silky moves at a dance competition with Uma Thurman. It was a teenage wedding, oh, wish them well. The shaky top emote is another reference to Jim Carrey. This season, it's from The Mask and his impressive maraca work. At the end of season 5, the vivacious emote sprung up. This is a reference to that bloody annoying Despacito song, which ruined our ear holes for months. A little more accurately though, it's a nod to the Despacito girl, who must dance every time she hears the song, regardless of where she is. Pretty embarrassing for her, but dang, she's got moves. The pumpernickel dance is taken from the Andy Samberg movie Hot Rod from 2007. Oh my god, I'm old. That's 11 years ago. Cool beans. When the aerobic characters hit the store, so did this emote. Work It Out is in homage to the 1988 National Aerobic Fitness Championship show, which was also parodied by Key and Peele in 2014. The fabled techno viking found his place in Fortnite, which links up well with the Norse theme. The intensity emote shows what a serious music lover does when their favourite tune comes on. When Praise the Tomato appeared in the shop, it took the returning Tomato Temple theme and blended it with Dark Souls. The Praise the Sun emote, in fact. Another emote added in season 5 was Fancy Feet, which takes line dancing undertones and merges it with the king of pop, Michael Jackson, and these moves. If you grab the Nordic horn at the end of season 5, keep an ear out when you use it. There's a small possibility that the horn malfunctions and the epic sound becomes a wet fart. Lovely. Remember the boogie down contest from season 3?
If you win this competition, your emote will forever be immortalized into the game.
Well, the winning emote finally found its way into the game, and it was free to anyone who set up 2-factor safety checks on their account. Literally a reward for securing your account. Great work there, Epic Games. I'm impressed. Still a terrible dance though. Hey, the Power Code character returned in season 5, a great chance to throw in an Easter egg I missed a few seasons back. The guitar she holds and the rock emote synonymous with her uses a guitar made famous by dimebag Darrel. He was a metal god and performed with heavyweights, Pantera, Anthrax and many others. Sadly though, he was shot and killed whilst performing back in 2004. At least one of the Fortnite developers was inspired by his music, as Lars in Save the World plays the same guitar whilst ascending to the heavens. So season 5 brought in elements from other dimensions and worlds. Let's quickly recap. At the end of season 3, a meteor was seen heading towards the island. In season 4, it hit, and the meteor housed the visitor who created a time-bending rocket which caused a crack in time and space above the map. Items and locations from other worlds began to fall through the cracks, and as season 5 begins, drift from our world was dragged into Fortnite alongside new updates to the map. The Durr Burger, which vanished from Greasy Grove, reappeared to the right of Pleasant Park. Further east, Anarchy Acres was replaced with a golf club, complete with functional golf holes. Whilst I'm talking about new mechanics in Season 5, the basketball and the beach ball became regular pastimes in Fortnite, which made for lots of fun when sneaking up on people. Rifts became pivotal during Season 5, as entering one of these bad boys would throw us up into the air and allow us to dive bomb our foes. These were regularly found around the Moai, those Easter Island heads which were added this season too. Moisty Mire and the surrounding areas in the lower southeast were completely replaced with a section of Route 66 complete with functional speed gun, dinosaurs and a Donald Trump look-alike, and numerous truck stops too. The grass became sand to give us additional biomes to experience. The key town here was Paradise Palms, a summer holiday village which became the second most landed spot after Tilted Towers. The dirt track was replaced with a Super Mario Kart inspired racing track, which again was fully functional, and with the introduction of the all-terrain karts, we could forget about killing each other and instead race to be the best. Speaking of Mario Kart, the ATKs used the same slide to boost mechanic as back in the SNES days. The ATKs themselves have golf bags, but the golf clubs have been replaced with pickaxes. Oh, and those hanging dice are our good friends, the burger and the tomato head. Oh, segue. Tomato Town, which lost its head last season, suddenly reappeared, but the large metallic red head was replaced with a stone-carved statue. On August 23rd to be precise, an update to the map saw Tomato Town replaced with Tomato Temple, linking the disappearance of the tomato dude to time travel back to ancient times. But as of yet, there are no concrete evidence here, so let's move on. Oh, by the way, August 23rd was also the time the rift began to close in the sky. Other small differences to the map included the missing nom sign from Retail Row reappearing above Risky Reels, which was also finally repaired after the Meteor event. This venue went on to show fan-made mini-movies to enjoy during matches. Speaking of reconstruction, finally, over weeks and months, the building destroyed over in Tilted Towers was finally finished and enjoyed its opening day. Good things come to those who wait. Over at Dusty Divot, where the meteor landed, the spot became overgrown and recaptured by nature. Later in the season, a museum and cafe opened at the former Dusty Divot named Dusty Diner. Inside the museum are the original fragments of the meteor, which I think will play a part in future seasons. But also, take a look around and you'll see a few Easter eggs, like the image of the original Dusty Depot to remind us of simpler times. There's even a viewing area overlooking the divot to educate newcomers. And finally, the last and greatest update to the map, in my eyes anyway, is Viking Valhalla, replacing the house one mountain below the villain's lair. Again, this linked into Norse theme and even had snow. What's great about this is that the clues left in Season 4, such as the anchor, became new places. The anchor was from a Norse ship. The stage wagon, which I was convinced would be a Western themed location, became an exhibit outside Paradise Palms. And the dinosaur bones? Well, they're still there. We did get dinosaurs, but sadly, they weren't real. That's enough about the map updates. Let's look at the biggest Easter egg to come out of Season 5. And it's due to a YouTuber named Muselk and his exploit attempting to rescue a stranded opponent. Picture the scene. Chappadoodle, great name, accidentally found an area of the map which was below the build limit in the game, thus making him stuck and unable to compete. Muselk saw this as an opportunity to help out a brother from another mother and used an ATK to drop down and use as a jump pad. Sadly, well, see for yourself what happened.
I'm coming for you, boy. I'm coming for you. Hold on. Music's here. Oh no!
Surprisingly, he murdered Chappadoodle, but his method of escape did actually work. Epic Games updated the area, leaving a set of tyres to help anyone who finds himself in the same predicament. But moreover, they installed a gravestone to honour Chappadoodle and Muselk's heroics. Pretty damn cool touch. More of this kind of stuff, please, Epic. During the birthday event, cakes could be consumed and everywhere was covered in balloons. But down in Greasy Grove, the balloons were placed over storm drains in homage to it. Down at the rave in yonder yard, you'll notice there are more images to Save the World and the husks that we fight in that game mode. If anyone plays Save the World like me, please put STW in the chat. I shall find you. Okay, back to the story. Let's go back to those load screens. Once the rifts in time and space opened, the Drift character was dragged onto the island alongside the fabled Durburger. Bright Bomber and her crew showed Drift around the island, and especially the new areas to discover. Midway through Season 5, the crack in the sky began to burn down a group of cacti, whichever is correct. Once all the cacti were demolished, the rift did this. A mysterious cube was created which gifted shield when close enough, but would repel any damage at the closest player to the cube. So what did we all do? We all killed each other for a while, which was fun. Eventually the cube began to roll around the map and left Nordic runes in the ground, linking back to the Norse theme we found in the Battle Pass, and the theory of Ragnarok, bringing the end to the current world. Over the next month, the cube went about its business, including smashing down the building in Tilted Towers, which has been under construction since Season 4 began. Epic just love to troll us. Back to the loading screens saw the arrival of the Enforcers, which looked like intergalactic police. We'll have to wait to see what happens here because even on the last day of Season 5, nothing has been confirmed. Watch this space. So the cube finally made it over to Loot Lake, and this happened. The cube melted into Loot Lake, causing the top layer to become a repellent kind of trampoline gel. Loot Lake became Tramp Lake. It doesn't have the same ring to it. Now on the last day of Season 5, we are all speculating what will happen next. Will the cube rise out of the lake? Will Wailing Woods finally open up that bloody bunker? Will the motel become a saloon so I can live out my cowboy fantasies? Time will tell, I suppose. Finally, the umbrella for winning in Season 5 was the summer holiday-inspired sun umbrella. We did it, you know what, we did it, we finished it, we got through it. Season 5, done and dusted. What did I miss? I can't have got everything, because that was a lot of work for quite a few weeks. Let me know in the comments below. In fact, if you see any Easter eggs in Season 6, put them below, and I will make sure to put them in the next video, and if I don't find them myself, I will make sure you get a name check. Anyway, I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade, and I'm going for a lay down. It's been a pleasure, I'll see you next time.